An activist accused of inciting a riot is speaking only to News 4 tonight. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Samantha Jones.
And I'm Corey Stark. Steve has the night off. We first brought you details about federal charges being dismissed against Michael Avery on the KMOV News app. He had been locked up for nearly 2 weeks following recent riots. Avery and his attorney are speaking only to News 4's Ashley Lincoln tonight. And Ashley, they contend the feds got all of this wrong.
That's right. Federal prosecutors, they were trying to hold him responsible for inciting riots that happened earlier this month. Some of those riots led to this 7-Eleven behind me being gutted by fire and several officers being injured. But both Avery and his attorney tell me that they were ready to take this case to trial because they knew he was innocent.
I have not ever organized any protests a day of my life.
That's why Michael Avery says he was ready to fight for his innocence.
I honestly didn't know what I did at the time that came from me other than, I've been talking and running my mouth a lot.
Now he's able to spend time with his daughter while not thinking about preparing for a federal case.
Being able to get back to my daughter was the main thing.
Just a few days ago, he was facing up to 5 years in prison on federal charges of inciting a riot. The cell phone video shows the moments he was arrested by the FBI last month after returning home from the Minneapolis protest.
No, I haven't done anything wrong to break any laws.
This week, federal prosecutors asked for the charges to be dismissed.
Their entire case was based on posts that were made on Facebook.
Avery's attorney says federal prosecutors had little to go on. She says investigators tried suggesting that Avery's social media post led to the violence in St. Louis on June 1st. Businesses were destroyed, 4 officers were shot, and retired police captain David Dorn was murdered during looting.
He didn't tell anybody to loot.
Prosecutors pointed out one post where he called for shooters.
He used a term that is commonly used on the street to mean men.
And Avery also called for level red action.
Which is just a signal to say, don't bring your children, be prepared to get tear gassed or pepper sprayed, and have bail money arranged so in case you get arrested.
While this situation has caused chaos in his life, he says it's not throwing him off the course of bringing change.
This fight is bigger than just any one of us. And when you're willing to fight for your people, risk is going to come with that. Honestly, it's good versus evil, what's going on.
And I did reach out to the U.S. Attorney's Office for a comment. We are waiting to hear back. However, I did see in court documents that they say this case is still under investigation, meaning if they do find any credible information that they could refile charges here. Now, Avery tells me that since charges have been dropped, he has received some death threats and he's now considering hiring security to protect himself and his family. Reporting live tonight in downtown, Ashley Lincoln, News 4.